Welcome to Deep World News. The Ukrainian drone army continues to give Russians a hard time. Russia has been deeply affected by Ukraine's latest drone attack. A large ammunition depot was hit in the Ostrogozhsky region of Russia. Russians were stunned and did not know what to do. Massive explosions were heard in the area, and a mass evacuation of local settlements was ordered. Russian authorities have declared a state of emergency after a drone attack on a large missile and ammunition storage facility in the Voronezh region of Ukraine. The explosions occurred at 3 a.m. in the Ostrogozhsky region, and several settlements were evacuated immediately. A 40-kilometer-long section of the main Voronezh-Lugansk highway was closed to traffic in both directions due to exploding shells and other ammunition. Voronezh Region Governor Alexander Gusev said, "The fire that broke out as a result of the drone's impact spread to the explosives and caused the explosions." Hours after the attack on an ammunition depot on the border of occupied Ukraine, the explosions continued. A munitions depot that Vladimir Putin had stored for use in his war against Ukraine has been discovered. A state of emergency has been declared in the Ostrogozhsky district, and hundreds of people have been evacuated from the village of Soldatskoye and surrounding settlements. During the night, a fire broke out near the explosives and explosions began, which is why a state of emergency was declared in the Ostrogozhsky district, Gusev said. The extent of the damage will be assessed once the effects of the explosions have been fully eliminated. Ukrainian forces have previously targeted military airfields, oil refineries, and ammunition depots in the Voronezh region. A funeral ceremony is being held for the victims of one of the deadliest airstrikes by Russia since the start of the war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian president has pledged to increase domestic military production by building underground weapons factories. A funeral ceremony has been held in the eastern Ukrainian city of Poltava for those killed in a missile attack on a Russian military training facility. More than 50 people were killed, and more than 300 were injured. Hundreds of mourners, including family, local residents, and officials, gathered for a solemn ceremony at the Assumption Cathedral in the city, about 350 kilometers, 200 miles, southeast of Kiev. Sobbing relatives, many holding red carnations, stood over coffins draped in yellow and blue Ukrainian flags placed outside the church. An air raid siren sounded during the service. Locals knelt in silence as hearses carried victims to a military cemetery outside the city. Russia has intensified its missile and drone attacks on Ukrainian cities in recent weeks, targeting energy infrastructure across the country and causing deadly attacks in residential areas. The strikes underscored Moscow's long-range capabilities as Ukraine braces for what is likely to be a difficult winter as Russia continues to disrupt Ukraine's power grid, knocking out about 70% of its generation capacity and cutting off heating and water supplies. Explosions echoed over the Ukrainian capital overnight, with several Russian attack aircraft intercepted by the city's air defenses. There were no reports of injuries or serious damage.